Hi guys, welcome again. I have something very exciting for you today. As you can see, I'm presenting you the stats for the tournament. Here, how to read this. This is basically like what the Wonder is, what places it took. It was a 4-player tournament. We played, oh my gosh, how many games? 8 groups and 3 games each. So we played 47 games, I think. So almost 50 games in a competitive setting. No, sorry, 44. I think 44. So competitive setting, very, very good players. I was playing myself. I took 3rd place. Enomis won. Again, congratulations. Very, very skilled tournament. And like the goal of the tournament, like to advance to the next round, you have to be like in top 2. So actually, 2nd places mattered more maybe than winning, but winning got you further also, like with the points and what you needed to get to advance. Player were free to choose their wonders. It was completely random, as you can see. Some were randomized more than the other. Like I'm looking at Babylon and Halicarnassus, I think, compared to, for example, Alexandria. I think actually Olympia got the most one. Okay, without further ado, how to read it. So here you have like Olympia was 4th, 4th, 2nd, 1st, and 2nd. Here you have average place. So this is just, your standard average. I was thinking about like weighting the average for like the semi-finals to matter more, but I decided against it actually, because I think it wouldn't paint a fair picture. Median, so like the medium part of the set, and the dominant, which number is like the most common. So how to best look at it? I don't know. Like the statisticians would have to be like say. I think the average is kinda a good looking point, and if you want like a tier list just based off stats, you can read it here. Just Halicarnassus was really good. You should discourage probably this Halicarnassus A, even though it looks crazy good. It was just 1 game. Rhodos A, again, you should discourage this as well. Giza A only also got 2 games, and I played both of them actually. So I was the only one that preferred A for 4 players. Which is crazy weird. I would expect more Giza A than, for example, Rhodos A or Halicarnassus A. Ephesus A and Alexandria A were never played, as was Babylon A. Not surprising, to be honest. Usually just B is better, except for Olympia A. We have statistic proof, kinda, that it's better, just a little. And it was actually me and Pistoliero, both we got to the finals, who actually played that in the semis and in the final. But I will talk about that more when you get to the wonders. So again, look at it. You will have a link to the image in the description down below. You can analyze it, and let me know what you think. Like, was anything weirder than expected? I'm just going to go through. Like, 1st place was Halicarnassus based by the stats, which is kind of expected. 2nd was Alexandria. A lot of people will think that. I was very surprised, to be honest. I thought Alexandria will be lower. Ephesus, yeah, let's say Ephesus was 3rd. 4th, I'm calling for Giza. 5th, I'm calling for Rhodos. I was a little surprised that Rhodos was so low. Then Babylon, then Olympia. And I was really surprised that Olympia was last. But, we will see. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. And as for why you are actually here, tier list after the tournament, based on what I saw, based on what I think the meta is when I see. I actually did a tier list before. I will link it in the description as well. And I think I was wrong. Like a lot of times I was wrong actually. So I have them ordered. I'm just doing base 7 wonders because I don't think I have enough to actually say about the expansion So Alexandria was second in stats, and it's actually getting to the tier 1. This is an upgrade. Previously I had it in tier 2. Why? It's very solid. It can play green when needed, but it can actually, like it has a clear plan, and nothing is stopping it, basically. Like you can just get your great resources, build for Haven, build a lot of red, and win that way. But you are flexible also. A lot of people seem to enjoy this wonder the most. I am not one of those people. I find it actually it's not my favorite by any means, but I'm always happy to see it. Okay, Babylon. Babylon was penultimate, as you can see on the stats, and Babylon is actually going to tier 3. Where it lands, you will see after I place all the wonders. But like I think Babylon is a little underrated. I can still see it as tier. Would it be tier 2? Probably not. But I still think it's a little underrated. I have it as low because I've seen a lot of people struggle. I still think like people are doing it a little wrong, I would say. I think that you should go for green, but not like super into green. You should just, try to get 5 cards of the same symbol and get 25 points that way. I think it's decent. Like I haven't seen a lot of people do that, but I haven't like drew the Babylon myself, so I wasn't able to, make it go. In the final, Babylon without playing any red was first, and like the winner took it. And also in the final, Pistoliero got last with Babylon. So, and in the third game, it was third. So that's like all over the place. I think there is potential. It's actually very hard to play. The strategy is simple, but you have to be flexible. But I still have it in here. I would never be like, yes, I got Babylon. I would be like, okay, I got Babylon. That's a challenge, but I can make it. Then we have Ephesus. Ephesus was in tier 1, was third, but I am actually still placing it ahead of Alexandria. I just think 4-player is the best for Ephesus for a couple of reasons. There is so much brown, and you can actually make use of the trading post so much with your passive gold, and there is like a huge opportunity for green as well, because for 4 players there are 2 scriptoriums in the first round, which you can play as also part of the set, and there are 2 universities, so the last card of the tablet chain. So because of that, because of how this is, I think for Ephesus, and actually like the duels, like the third duel that comes, excavation with stone and clay, is actually also good for Ephesus. So that's why I have Ephesus here. I think Ephesus is crazy good on 3, but I think like 4-player makes it just like so much better. Just generally, it loses a lot of its like value in 3-player, because in 3-player you can actually do a lot of crazy stuff with Ephesus. If you have money in 3 players, you are king, and you have money because you are Ephesus, and it's easy for you to build your stages. But actually, like how the cards lay out, it benefits Ephesus so much that I have him ahead of Alexandria here. Then we go into Giza. I used to have Giza as last, but I'm happy to report, guys, that I was wrong. I think Giza actually is here firmly. And I'm like, it's super weird for me, but it changed. Like in 3-player, I still never want to see Giza. In 4-player, whenever I see Giza, I'm like, okay, that's good. That's actually good. I think you can play both A and B. Whenever you're next to Olympia, I would play A, but I would still play A in a lot of situations. I just found myself to play with 3 stages better a little, and I don't have to worry that much about clay, and that lets me pick clay in the first age instead of the second age, which I really like. But you can play B totally. I think A is a little more powerful. I got it from the guy named Tuomi, who was kind of beating with me with A, and I decided to switch to A, and I never looked back. But Giza, I think 4 players is the best for Giza. And like Ephesus is great for. I've just talked about it. It's great for like 4-player cards and the layout, but it's not like super for what is happening actually in 4-player games. But for Giza, like the cards and everything, it's just perfect. It lets Giza play for browns, which Giza loves. Giza loves resources. You can play resources, and you can like always avoid being 4th, which is maybe not a lot, but it's something. And you can usually get 2nd, and if the opponents make a mistake, you will just be first. You can also win a lot of games. That requires, some careful planning, some careful throwing, and stuff like that. But like in this setup where you kind of in like high level lobbies, also if you get 2nd, you in 4-player game, you should get a little points. You should get a little ahead. So that's something. Then we go into Halicarnassus. Halicarnassus was first, and no surprise. I think it's confirmed that it's the best wonder, basically for 4 players. It's very good in 3 players. Pistoliera has it as number 1. I think it's number 2, but my 3-player tier list will be coming. Okay, I think I haven't broke it. Let's see, and the stats. It was the only wonder that got like below 2nd. So usually you are like better than 2nd on average when you are playing this. So that's just crazy. One thing to note is that because of like people know the power of Halicarnassus, so they will play against you a little more, and that's good. Like the knowledge of 7 wonders is spreading. People are playing better and better. Like I've seen it on the ladder, on 3-player ladder. Pistoliero said it's much harder for him to push now. Like he said before his guide and stuff like that, it was so much easier. Now people are learning, people are adapting. They're like taking what I say, improving it, taking stuff from Pistoliero guide, figuring stuff on their own. People are talking on the Discord. So we are living in a great time to play 7 wonders and get better with it. And that's like, whenever you get Halicarnassus, don't be surprised if people play against you. That makes it a little weaker, but on paper it's still the best, and that's what this tier list is all about. It can play basically 2 strategies amazingly, just as Ephesus, but it's just a little better with it. It can play the green. It's a little better because it can build from the discard, so it's harder to push it. And it can play like the brown strategy with when you get at least 4 brown cards, a lot of red, and push for victory. That way, it's just a little better that way, just because you have the cloth, which is important for Haven in the 3rd round. Then we have Olympia, and Olympia was last. And I think this is not proof yet, but I know I've called it proof before, but this is like a guidance, I'm missing a word, a clue that you should maybe try A. And I'm just saying you should play A. Whenever you play Olympia, even if you are next to Olympia, you should play A. I think B is bad, actually, in 4-player. I know it has won. I know I've lost against it. I know I will lose against it a lot of times. But it's actually usually like when your neighbors build Builders Guild, and you get crazy points that way. Or like games that you would win anyway with A side. A side is comparable to, like, the best comparison for Olympia is actually Ephesus, and they are both wonders that have very easy stages, and actually, like, when you think about it, the 2nd stage of the wonder saves you money. So Ephesus has like 10 points and 12 gold. Olympia has 10 points and one free cheat. Usually you will just get one free cheat for the third age, and usually it will save you about 5 gold. So it's actually like 7 gold behind Ephesus, except the ability is of course so much more because you don't have to care for resources, and also you don't need free grace to finish your wonder. Grace can, like the great cards, like the refined resources, are the most limited in 4-player games, and when you are playing Olympia you can just not care. The only one that you care about is cloth, and that playstyle is very powerful. I call it like the Haven Red Haven. Let's call it Red Haven playstyle, and actually with that Olympia is here for me. I think it's much better than it showed, like here. And this is for A. Like Olympia B would be here or here, I think. But Olympia A for me is just, can I move it? Yes. Is just slightly better than Giza. I'm just more happy about it. And why B is bad? Because like the first stage looks amazing. It has like double trading post, but it's actually pretty bad. Because you kind of want to play a lot of brown cards in 4 players anyway, and there is a lot of brown cards basically, so you are just not gaining that much from it, and you do not have like a money generation like Ephesus, so that's actually bad for you. What's more, it's sometimes tricky to get points from guild. Like the second stage is amazing, but the third can be tricky, and that's why it's inconsistent, and I don't like it. I play A usually, and we go to the last wonder. And before, Colossus was rank 4th, and like it has good stats in the tournament, I wouldn't lie, and at the end it got like really good stats, but I'm still ranking it here. I thought about it, like this video is a little delayed because I couldn't like make myself do this, but I actually think that Colossus is just it's just so annoying to play against good players. Like after Pistoliero Guide, a lot of people are pushing red for like in the end of stage 2, like in the stage 2 basically. And that's Colossus like worst weakness. When you push like against Colossus like that, it's really bad for Colossus. Colossus usually in the second round he needs to play 2 brown cards, double stone and double ore. Especially like versus good players, you need to play double ore. And actually we are talking about the B, because nobody plays A for Colossus. Like some people play, but it's very rare. And like the true first stage wonder for Colossus usually it's double ore usually, and the fact that you need 4, that's just so painful, and you cannot use it for anything else, and people won't buy it in like a great deal from you, because usually either you have to play like ore and double ore, or they have this one ore that's mostly good enough for the whole game. You can do stuff like yellow Colossus, for example. You can splash green. You can do a lot of stuff. I think there is a room for improvement with Colossus, but still, like your stages are not that great because of how much preparation they do, and like that preparation doesn't transfer to anything. Like it doesn't transfer to guilds, it just transfer to some red cards, and like 1 blue card, the Aqueduct, and you are kind of stuck with doing your own thing, and I like the 2 stages are just like you cannot hide cards early, so you are just bad versus green when you're like when a green guy is sitting just after you in like in the second round, he just has a field day because he knows that you will just play so many cards for the second round because you cannot bury. With Giza, you can leave your first stage open. because it's still good enough in the second round. With Olympia, you can do the same. But with Rhodos, you're just scrapping by, you're just trying to get by. And sometimes you even don't. Like sometimes double or is on the hand that there is something that you really need. And I think that with Colossus, even those games where you are red, your opposite player is red, and you have two guys that don't care about red, even those games, I think Colossus has troubles sometimes, and that's just crazy. So in the end, I don't like Colossus. I'm still think it can win games, and I still think it's a really great wonder versus not so experienced players. But against against the people that are probably watching mostly this channel, and against people that are want to compete in tournaments and want to climb to the top of the ladder, against those players, I think Colossus is not the greatest. And that would be it. Basically, compared to the stats, I got Colossus to 7th from 4th. And I got I basically swapped. I think I swapped Olympia and Colossus basically, and I swapped here. Maybe just a little swap here. But that would be it. I know for a lot of players, Babylon is the worst wonder to play. But to those people, I would say play a lot of Grace in the first round. Try to play, and if not, fall back to the forum plan, and if not, fall back to just the Haven plan. And that should make your win rate just a little bit better, I think. Just for funsies, in the end, I'm not even putting them, so they are not here. Byzantium would be below Colossus even, I think. Petra would be below Byzantium, and Rome would be no idea. No idea. Not enough place versus great players with the Leaders expansion. But those two wonders, you can actually use them in the base game, which I recommend when you're playing at your home. And I think this video is long enough. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think about it. I love discussions about tier lists, especially about things that I'm really passionate about. And as you probably know, I'm really passionate about 7 wonders. So please let me know what you think. Until later, see you later. Bye.